Welcome back to America Decides. The Anti-Defamation League is reporting that the number of anti-Semitic incidents in the United States reached a record high in 2024. The group tracked a total of 9,354 anti-Semitic incidents. That's a 5% increase from 2023. And get ready for this, 893% increase over the past decade. Yes, 893% increase. Jonathan Greenblatt joins me now. He is the CEO and National Director of the Anti-Defamation League. Jonathan, it's always good to have you. Walk us through the report and what you find most important for this audience to know about its findings.
Thanks for having me on, Major. I think the latest audit that the ADL published just this morning, and again, we've been doing this now for almost 50 years, the numbers are staggering. Like you said, almost 9,400 acts of harassment, vandalism, and violence last year directed against Jewish people and Jewish institutions. That's, again, nearly 900% more than what we saw a decade ago. And unfortunately, in 5 of the last 6 years, we have shattered the ceiling, if you will, and broken a new record. Now, one of the interesting things that I think we all need to point out is that anti-Semitism is a crisis. And when you are willing to trample the civil rights of a group of people just because of how they pray or where they're from, that risks the civil rights of everyone, and we find that very problematic.
There's something I want to read to you and share with my audience from the report. For the first time in the history of this audit, which you said now spans 5 decades, a majority, 58% of the incidents contained elements related to Israel or Zionism. Tell my audience why that matters and what is different now than before.
Well, look, there's nothing wrong with protesting policies of the state of Israel. Like there's nothing wrong with protesting the policies of any government. But when you, for example, vandalize a synagogue by spray painting, free Gaza on it, that's anti-Semitic. Or, for example, when you harass, college students walking into a Hillel by screaming at them from the river to the sea, that's anti-Semitic. Holding Jewish people responsible for what you don't like that's happening on the other side of the planet, that is wrong, period, end of story. And what major has happened is this kind of behavior has been normalized in recent years. It did not used to be like this, but now it seems to be open season on Jews, where they shop, where they pray, where they live, and that's very, very frightening.
I want to get to the specifics because terminology matters in discussions of this kind, Jonathan. From the report, quote, incidents of vandalism and assault increased significantly in 2024. Assaults increased by 21% to 196 incidents, impacting 250 victims, and vandalism increased by 20% to 2,666 incidents, if I have it down correctly. Define how you define assaults and vandalism.
I mean, a bias incident is an assault, or let's call it an act of hate that's motivated by an inalienable attribute, something that can't change about a person, like their religion or their national origin or their level of ability or their gender, sexual orientation. And in this case, acts of violence are things like assault, where people are physically attacked. Vandalism is, if you will, defacing personal property or a common good, like, say, a synagogue or a school with a swastika. And we also track harassment at ADL. So this could be something like a person being discriminated at work or a child being bullied at school. And what's notable here is that if someone tells us, we don't just write it down, Major. Every single incident that we report, we've established it's credible. So a staff person from ADL checks it out, interviews the so-called victim, assesses the credibility of the claim. So far more incidents were reported to us than we actually could determine credible. But that's what we do at ADL. We investigate, we analyze, and we report.
Jonathan Greenblatt, I appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir.
Always good to see you.